Okay. Great. Good morning, everyone. We are ready to get started. And I know you're used to seeing Jessica, so let me say hello. If I don't know you yet, my name is Sheila Colum, and I am Director of Operations for Career Connectors, and I am thrilled to be here. I'm glad you're here. However you found us, I'm glad you're here. And I'll just put a little plug ahead of time. Tell your friends, spread the word. We are here. We've been virtual now for over a year. And so far, we're going to continue virtual until we see other possibilities open up. But you can watch for more events coming. And as we are able to do live, it'll be an also, not an instead of. So we'll have both the virtual platform and the live events. So as you can see, we are already in the chat. Oh my gosh, Jason, thank you. We are already chatting, and we encourage you to do that throughout the event, because that is how we can connect, right? We're all behind our screens, but you are not alone. And there are a lot of people here looking to meet you and find out what's going on in your world. So please. Wow. Okay. I love chat this morning. It is my very favorite. All right. So thank you, guys. We can use chat to ask questions, to connect with people. You can message the whole group. You can message individuals within the chat. So keep that in mind. You can also control how the videos of the speakers are displayed on your screen just by grabbing it, moving it around. There's 3 different views. It can be speaker or gallery view. And then if you can, on your screen name, if you add maybe your industry, so that people kind of know, if they see another person in their industry, they might reach out to you. And we always like to know where you're joining from. So tell us in the chat where you're joining from. And as a way to connect on LinkedIn, if you would open up your browser and view your own profile and go ahead and copy the address line from your browser bar and paste it into chat, and then it becomes a blue clickable link like Rich did. Thank you, Rich, for doing that already. And then we can all connect on LinkedIn as well. And I'm happy to say we are offering breakout rooms again today. So if you can stay to the end, all of our speakers, as well as some amazing coaches, will be in breakout rooms at the end. So you can speak with them and video with them if you like. If anyone is in need of closed captioning, we have that here today. Thank you to our closed captioner. You can either go to this bit.ly address and with that event ID, which I'll put in the chat in just a minute, or you can scan that QR code with your phone. Okay, this is awesome. Thanks everybody for chatting. This is going to be our agenda today. Well, I'm doing the welcome and intro, but I get to introduce Brenda Cunningham, who is going to tell us how to use LinkedIn in just 15 minutes per day. I love this talk because everybody's on LinkedIn, right? Everybody knows you have to be on LinkedIn, but what does that mean? What does that look like? How can you actually make it work for you? Brenda is going to fill in those blanks. She is going to give you practical tips on how to bring it to life. So I'm super excited for you to hear Brenda's talk. And then we're going to hear from Terros Health, Willscot Mini Mobile, Liberty Mutual, WealthWave, and then we'll offer you some resources and other events coming up, and then those breakout rooms at the end. Okay, so excited to introduce my friend Brenda. Okay, Brenda Cunningham, CEO of Push Career Management, is a certified professional resume writer, a certified job search strategist, and credentialed career manager. Her company provides one-on-one portfolio development, LinkedIn profile writing, and corporate outplacement services to major brands in the United States. The author of Crush the Pink Slip, Get Back to Work in 60 Days, Brenda is on a mission to provide practical resources to professionals in career transition. I highly recommend that book. Brenda was the president of Resume Writers Council of Arizona and has served on the board of the National Resume Writers Association for 3 years. Having spent 9.5 years in corporate America as an engineer and program manager for a global multi-million-dollar manufacturing company, also having supported dozens of emerging leaders, she is well equipped to help you navigate the corporate ladder. Brenda, I'm going to pass the mouse to you and welcome.
Woo-wee, what an intro indeed. I love it. Okay. All right, here we go, everybody. Listen to me. I am caffeinated. I am hype. I am ready. And I hope that you are too. I have had my breakfast shake. So we are going to have a good old time. I hope that you will join in with me in having fun. LinkedIn does not have to be this boring, just cloud of rain that hovers over your head every day. It really can start to help you attract the right kinds of opportunities. And so I hope that you will just stay engaged with me, ask questions. Let me know what you're struggling with so that we can give you some specific answers on today. And so thank you for being here. And of course, thank you to the wonderful Sheila, Jessica, and the entire Career Connectors team. They keep allowing me to come back and talk to you. So maybe something is happening that is going right. And so I will just say thank you for these opportunities. And why I keep saying yes to their calls is because I believe in what they're doing, right? We're all here to help job seekers just really accelerate this search process. Job search is really, really difficult these days, right? In probably this last decade and a half, it just has gotten so much more complicated. And as she kind of alluded to, somebody probably did tell you that you should be on LinkedIn, that you've got to create this LinkedIn account, and they never necessarily showed you what to do with it after that. And so that's where we're really going to spend our time. Somebody told me a couple of weeks ago, I was teaching a class and they said that, they thought LinkedIn was only for like CEOs and like super duper VIP decision makers like that it was only for them. And I'm here to set the record straight that it is for all of us. We can all participate. We can all have access to people and possibilities because of LinkedIn. And so I just want to encourage you to really pay attention as we dive in. Now, um, typically speaking, so generally when I give this workshop, I kind of come in with the assumption that we're already bought in to the values of LinkedIn. And today I wanted to make sure. So we wanted to really just kind of talk about some of just Brenda's favorite reasons for being on LinkedIn. Because if you're not bought in, I promise you, friends, it will be very difficult for you to drag yourself to LinkedIn every day and feel like you're doing something. It'll feel like a time suck. It'll feel like you're not being productive. And it'll feel like it's a drain or kind of a vampire, an energy vampire for you. So let's make sure that you are all the way bought in on the kind of the merits or the values of LinkedIn. And so I won't take all day here, but I do want to make sure that you understand it is so important that we build a professional network. And because I don't know about you, but I have worked in corporate America and I have been in jobs where the whole department got eliminated, right? Just wipe the whole thing. And if I've spent my whole entire tenure just building and nurturing relationships with the people inside of those four walls, what happens when that whole building just goes away, or that whole department just goes away, and everybody that you knew is now all of a sudden in the same boat, and nobody has access to the kinds of opportunities that you're looking for anymore. And so I want to encourage you to be using LinkedIn, because now you have access to people much more broad than the four walls that you're used to. And you have access to decision makers, and people can make mental connections for you. Yes, LinkedIn is a job board, but listen, number 3 here, I don't want anybody to be the world's best kept secret. And listen to me, recruiters, and y'all, there are some recruiters on the line here. Recruiters, y'all correct me if I'm wrong, but y'all number one source, the number one first place you will probably go to look for a specific type of person is LinkedIn. Why not? Because I can search for you by your occupation. You see what I'm saying? And so, and if I'm searching for you on LinkedIn, but you, job seeker, you're not there, you have become the world's best kept secret. And so stop hiding out and stop being invisible. It is time to get seen by the people who need you to fill vacant opportunities today. Professional development. And I talk about this one all the time for the folks who say, won't my boss know I'm looking for a job if I'm on LinkedIn? And I say, nay, nay to that. Because listen, do you know when the last time I was looking for a job? It was over a decade ago. And yet I'm on LinkedIn every day. Why? Because I learn so much from other people who do what I do. I can cut through a lot of the research and the reinvention. And so I can just simply ask questions of people who have already overcome struggles that I'm currently facing, and I can just accelerate on through to the solution. And so I want you to kind of think very proactively that way. It is a brilliant source for professional development. Salary research. Bottom line, Sheila mentioned the Resume Writers Council of Arizona. Every year we host a annual HR forum. We invite recruiters, we invite talent acquisition leaders, HR managers. In other words, the people who would be your audience, right? For your LinkedIn profile, for your resumes. And they have said consistently across the board, there is an expectation that you have a presence on LinkedIn. So if you're not bought in at this point, like, I don't think anything will convince you. These are super duper important reasons. It's a great search tool. You can find who you're looking for. You can conduct research on people that you're going to be interviewing with. And bottom lines, you can showcase your expertise and stay connected. So here's the difference between the top bullet and the bottom bullet. The top bullet says, I'm going to connect with people, but the bottom bullet says, I'm going to stay connected with people. I'm going to continue to engage with people. I'm going to nurture relationships so that at some point in time, I will have earned the right to ask for help from these individuals. And this is oh so important, my friends, as we really start to believe in the value and kind of some of the power of LinkedIn. And what I will say is that LinkedIn is not magic. It's not like some sort of silver bullet magic potion that poof, I've created a profile, I've created an account, and now opportunities are simply falling out of the sky. That is not how it works. And so what we're having to do is show up and be consistent and active on LinkedIn. And so I want to make sure that we talk about, what does that look like? You need a plan of attack. We can be strategic, and we do not have to sit on LinkedIn all day long. Right. And so I remember when Facebook kind of first came out, like, I could just lose myself, lose a whole day of productivity, just kind of seeing what everybody's up to. And I didn't really know like where to spend my time and what to do there. And so same thing is true for LinkedIn, right? You can get just consumed by all the wonderful things that are going on, that people are talking about, events and invitations and introductions. And it can be really, really exciting, but at the same time, it could quickly become overwhelming. And so we want to make sure that we have a kind of a strategy, a plan of attack. And so that is where we're going to go now. And we begin with our homepage. And so listen, my friends, your LinkedIn is this beautiful thing where you get to show me what you do for a living. You get to show me how good you are with that work. But one of the ways that you can show me how good you are is by showing me and demonstrating that you're staying connected to your field, that you understand what's going on, the state of affairs for your industry. And so your homepage consists of updates from all people in your network, right? All the companies that you follow, all the people that you're connected with, and you get all of this information all in one place. And so how wonderful would it be if we were to start on purpose, very intentionally scanning that home page for about 5 minutes, right? So this is a 15-minute strategy, right? So we're going to break it down. And that first 5 minutes, we can spend just very intentionally on that home page. And guess what we can do there? We can, so hope you're taking notes, because these slides are not full of words. These slides are just guidance for you so that you can look at it again at a glance and keep it moving. But take some notes for yourself so that you'll know what to do when you're there. So when you're on your home page, seeing what's going on in the state of your network, you're liking things that are pertinent to your brand, right? So let me ask you a question here. Do you have an answer to this question? What is it that you actually want people to know about you? What is it that you want people to associate with you? So for example, my name is Brenda Cunningham, and I want to be known as the person who can help you with your career transition, period. And so the things that I'm liking and commenting on and posting and sharing should all be in support of that thing that I want you to know about me, that thing that you associate with me. Right? I don't want you to call Brenda when you need a t-shirt made. I don't want you to call Brenda when it's time to do your taxes. Please don't call Brenda for that. I don't want you to call Brenda when you need a pizza delivered. I don't want you to call Brenda for those things. But when you know that you're stuck in your career transition, I want you to know to call Brenda for those things. And so those are the things that Brenda will like, comment, share, and post on Brenda's homepage. What kinds of things? Take a moment, really think about it. What are some of the things that help support the image or the perception that you're looking to create for yourself? What is it that you want to be known for? If you're an IT project manager, then make sure that you're talking about and liking things that are talking about, agile methodology and, project management, PMI. If you just got your PMP certification, talk about it, share it, post it. Make sure that the world understands that this is not only what you do, but you're actually good at it. You're connected to it. This is what you're kind of all about. And so it really gives a great opportunity for you to start setting the stage for this is how I want you to think about me by the things that you're commenting on, liking, sharing, and posting. And so what a wonderful way to start your LinkedIn day, your 15 minutes a day, which by the way, for me, enough is Monday through Friday. I don't think you need to live on LinkedIn all day, every day. So we're trying to keep this simple and manageable. I want you to win. I need you to win, right? There is nothing that I get out of it except the satisfaction of knowing that my words are helping you to win. Right? I don't need to be paid a dime. You go do these things and watch LinkedIn work for you. That's enough for me. That's a victory. All right. And so, so if you're a project manager talking about PMI methodology, upcoming PMI events, if you're in IT security, talk about things like data integrity, security threat solutions, the cost of not upgrading key hardware, software providers. Make sure that we understand that you are in fact connected to the work that you do. Okay. I hope that this is resonating with you. Tell me if it's not so I can get it right, but we are going to make sure that we are doing our part on LinkedIn. All right, let's move on, shall we? Okay. And so the next 4 minutes, I see a raised hand. I'm okay with a quick question here and there because I think it's just more valuable to you if you have the opportunity to to ask questions. So Jackie is asking a question, Sheila. I don't know if we can unmute her or if she needs to maybe type out that.
She's got it in chat, actually. Jackie asks, how do you brand yourself on LinkedIn when you have two different career paths? For example, licensed counselor and vocational consultant. And then,
So
yeah, there's a
that's
second question too when you're ready.
Thank you. And that's a really good question. Thank you, Jackie. And I do want to answer it now before we just simply move on, because LinkedIn, it does prefer that you kind of have a thing, right? But when you are multiple things, like a counselor and I forget the other piece that you are, but when you are multiple things, it is okay. I don't know why I've
It's
lost
because I unmuted myself. You should get it back if you
Oh,
mute
I'm like,
again.
yeah, I've
Sorry
lost
about that.
control
Yeah.
here. So
My mouse fought yours just for one
Okay.
second, but you're back at it.
Try to move it. Okay. So yeah, so this is a question that comes up all the time. And so you can actually blend both of your worlds without apology, Jackie. You can absolutely say, you know, hey, by day I'm this, by night I'm that, and just talk about how you are both of these things, and don't apologize for that, because there are plenty of us who are more than one thing. And I think that it's a
So would
fantastic.
you just like some of your activities would be the one and other activities would be toward the
I
other?
think
But
so.
you
I
just
think
would do
so.
both.
And
Okay.
certainly any time that you could combine or blend the two worlds together, I would take every opportunity to do that. But yes, some of your posts are going to be in one direction and some, I would probably try to balance it out so that people know which is which. But another kind of clever thing that you could do is have your personal profile focused in one area and create maybe a company profile, maybe create a company account and kind of talk about the other dimension of you on a completely different profile that reflects maybe a company or brand that you're working with. So these again are just some thoughts floating around, but I appreciate the question and I hope that that helps. Great.
And
All
then we
right.
had one other from Heidi, if you're up for it.
Yes, I am up for it.
Heidi says, how would you brand yourself if you're looking for a career path transition? So your
Ooh,
experience is one thing and you're headed somewhere else, right?
I love it, Heidi. That is a perfect question because it gives me the opportunity to remind everybody that we write our LinkedIn profiles toward our futures. Okay. And so it doesn't necessarily matter what you used to do. It matters where you're going next. And so you're starting to build the case and make the case for yourself that, hey, here are some of the things that I've done to get in position for this next role or for this next move. And so you can absolutely write it toward your future, but incorporate some of those kind of crossover things from your past. So for example, in my past, actually, my degree from school is in electrical engineering. A shout out to Sheila, my fellow former engineer. And so I have this engineering degree. I have a certificate in project management, the PMP, and I worked in semiconductor industry for almost a decade. And so I was this engineer for all of this time, but when I got on LinkedIn, it was to really start this process of establishing myself as a career manager, not as an engineer. And so guess how much real estate my engineering past got on my LinkedIn profile? About this much, right? Just this little itty bitty bit, because it was more important that I showed how I plugged in with the Resume Writers Council of Arizona, with the National Resume Writers Association. I've read these books, that I've taken these courses, that I've pursued these certifications, and I've done all these things to position myself as a career manager while just very minimally mentioning that I had a past as an engineer. And I kind of crossed it over, say, even as an engineer, use the data to tell your career story. And so how can you kind of translate what you used to do into what you are going to do? But absolutely, you can write, and I encourage you, you should write your profile toward the direction of your future. So I think that was a perfect question, and I surely hope that that helps you. But start doing those little things now that help to showcase how you are qualified to now sit in the seat of your future. All right, so today is a really good day to start doing some professional development and getting yourself ready. All right, good stuff. I love it. Thank you, Sheila, for sharing those questions. Now, the next, as we are spending these 4 minutes on searching and inviting, that is the next kind of piece of the 15-minute strategy puzzle. And so as we're searching and we're inviting, we are being very intentional. Who are we searching for? What are we searching for? And who are we inviting to connect with us? I'm glad you asked. So if I'm a job seeker and I want to work for a company like Career Connectors, let's just say, I'm going to go and type and search in the search bar for Career Connectors. I'm going to be very intentional about who I connect with at Career Connectors. I'm going to connect with anybody that's a recruiter for Career Connectors, anybody that's in talent acquisition for Career Connectors, and I'm going to connect with, thirdly, anybody who does what I do at Career Connectors. These are the 3 types of people that you ultimately want to try to connect with, right? Just to make it easy, because sure, you could connect with everybody under the sun. And listen, we've seen a lot of salespeople try to just connect with everybody just to sell their goods and their services. I'm not talking to you. I'm not talking to you. You're trying to sell to everybody. I'm talking to these job seekers who really are trying to make something happen with LinkedIn. What is the best type of person to connect with? People who are in recruiting, who might be looking for somebody like you, people who are in talent acquisition, again, who might be looking for somebody like you, but other people who do what you do so that you can learn from them. How best do I position myself? What are some of the certifications and the credentials that you have? What are some of the events and webinars and workshops and conferences that you're attending so that I can learn from you? And I can go perhaps plug into some of those things that are going on so I can start to get myself in position. And so absolutely, we can spend just a few moments, follow companies, search for these companies that we really have our sights set on, right? We don't want to just apply for just a whole bunch of jobs and hope somebody calls us back, because how do you know if you want to work there? How do you know that that company is a right fit for you? And so what if we did that a little bit in reverse and we focused in on companies that we know we're excited about partnering with, and then we started to connect very intentionally with the right people? Now, what I'm doing is I can invite these people to be part of my network, and I can start to establish relationships with these people over time. This is not fast. This LinkedIn is not, again, it's not some sort of overnight get rich quick scheme. This is a pretty long game strategy, but I'm telling you, when you show up and you're consistent, it will pay off major dividends, major. And so we're searching for the right kinds of people, but then we're also taking a moment to send an invitation. Now, listen, sometimes we forget to customize those invitations. And I think that that is where a lot of times where people will ignore you because they don't know you. And it's like, who the heck are you? And why are you looking to connect with me? But if you tell them why, if you tell them, hey, I heard you speak at Career Connectors and I really like what you had to say, and so I wanted to be connected with you, or that I was doing my research for XYZ company that I've always wanted to work for, and I just wanted to learn from you and stay plugged into the community over there. Give people a reason. Give them a reason. Perhaps it's somebody that's in this chat right now that you're interacting with, and you see what they do and you're like, oh, that's so exciting. That's where I want to be. So say, hey, I saw you participating in that Career Connectors event. It looks like you're already where I want to be, and I just wanted to be in your orbit. And so how wonderful is it that we understand why you're reaching out to us, as opposed to just some some random stranger danger request, and we don't know what's going on. We don't know you from Adam down the street. And so we are doing our part to search for the right kinds of people. And we're sending those personalized invitations. I repeat, personalized invitations that are not necessarily, listen, you can copy and paste a template, but make sure that some of the ingredients or some of the pieces are custom to that particular individual, right? And so we don't have to come up with whole new phrasing every single time, but certainly let this person know it's because I met you at Career Connectors versus that person where I may have met you at Arizona at work. It doesn't matter. So make sure that I understand why are you looking to connect with me. And listen, my friends, make sure, here's something that I really want you to hear me say. Make sure you have earned the right to start asking people for their help. Okay. And so what we don't want to do is invite people into our networks and immediately say, hey, can you help me pass along my resume to the decision makers? Hey, can you help me get my foot in the door over here at this company? Why? Because you haven't earned the right to ask me that yet. Why? Because I don't know you yet. I don't know your work ethic yet. I don't know if you're going to show up on time for work. I don't know the quality of your work yet. And so there's so much that I don't know about you, and we have no foundation whatsoever. It is premature at that point to start asking me to like circulate your resume and these sorts of things. It is premature. And so this is not let's just take it for what it is. Brenda loves you. Brenda loves you. Brenda loves you. And so because she loves you and she wants to see you win, I want to see you do things in the right and decent order. Okay. And so that means that we're connecting with people, but then we're nurturing relationships before we start making asks of people's times and coffees and circulate my resume and these sorts of things. Okay. All right.
Brenda,
Are we
can you
feeling
talk
good?
a little bit about what that looks like right now? Like, we're all virtual and we're just connecting online. So we do our research and we find the people we want to connect. We reach out, we tell them why we're connecting. And then what? Like, what does it look like between then and when you get to the point where you can kind of ask, hey, can we meet or something?
Perfect, Sheila. Thank you for that clarity. And so, yeah, so some of the things that we're doing in between, I've connected with you and now it's appropriate for me to make an ask, are things like liking their post, commenting on their post, sharing their post, and this next thing that I'm actually going to call up now. Oops, this one. Messages, just saying hello, just saying, hey, I know that this is of interest to you. I just wanted to share this thought with you or share this article with you, or this opportunity came up and I thought of you immediately and I just wanted to share it with you. So doing these small things where we're just kind of showing support and first giving before we get from others. This is how we start to nurture and establish and deepen relationships with people, right? At some point, it may turn into, hey, want to meet up for a coffee? Hey, want to do a quick Zoom chat? Hey, want to do some of these other things? But even then, it's not like, hey, can you circulate my resume? Even then, it is, I have an interest in this company. Do you have any advice for me? Do you have any any things that I should know? Are there other people that I should think about talking to or connecting with? And so there are so many wonderful things that we can do to first earn the right to ask for people's help. I'm so glad that you asked that question, Sheila. I think that was very important. But yes, so these things, so now we're talking about just kind of spending 2 minutes just saying hello. Guess how quickly I can write a note to somebody in my network. I just so happen to be looking at our little gallery view. And so I see Kitty Carlisle, right? So hi, Kitty. And so I see you, Kitty. And so I think I might have met you maybe one time. And then we like connected on LinkedIn. I learned a little bit about what she does with like editing. And I think I was really attracted to what she said. I'm looking at her thing, her background. It says, born with a pencil in my hand. I'm like, good Lord, if that doesn't resonate with me, I don't know what does, because I care about words. I care about, storytelling. She's like clearly a great editor and cares about grammar, and I do too. And so there's just like some humanity in common there. And so I remember it had to be like 2 years ago that I think I like reached out to Kitty and just sent her like a LinkedIn thing and like, hey, tell me a little bit more about what you do. And guess what? Like, I have no problem. It's been 2 years. It's not like we talk every day, but if some opportunity came up, I'd say, hey, Kitty, you interested? And now what that does is someday, let's say a year from now, I need something from Kitty. I'm not that awkward cousin that only calls when you need money. Right? Because that's what happens, right? Don't be like that. Don't be like that cousin that only calls when you need help with the electric bill, that you only need help with the phone bill, that your kids need shoes, that this is going, like, don't be that cousin. Don't be that relative that shows up only with their hand open. Be the one that says, hey, what can I do for you? I just wanted to check in with you. So how quickly do you think I can type a note to Kitty that just says, hey, you were on my mind. I hope all is well with you and your family. How long do you think that might take? Maybe 10, 12 seconds to type, right? And so I can crank out a couple of those for when people actually come across my mind. When people actually come across my mind. Sheila is very good at this. I'll get a text from Sheila just says, I hope you're doing good today. How are you today? Like, I love that. Why? Because everybody else is saying, hey, can you help me with my resume? Hell, can you look at my LinkedIn profile? But then here comes Sheila, who says, how are you, Brenda? Anything I can do? How can I support you? And so I think those messages, while they don't take a long time to construct, they end up meaning so much to the recipient. And so if we simply take a few moments to say hello, to check in, to say things like Merry Christmas or Happy Holidays or whatever it is you celebrate, right? If we just take a moment to say those small things without any expectation of favors being done for us, it builds so much goodwill with the other person. And what happens, people, what happens is I start to like you. And now that I like you, I'm oh so happy to help you. And this is where the magic really begins to happen, because when I like you and I know you and I'm beginning to trust you, now when the right kinds of opportunities come across my plate, I am making mental connections with you in mind, right? If I know that Kitty is an editor and a writer and all of these wonderful things, and there's some project come up, hey, Kitty, you interested? Right? If I know that, I don't know, some of the other folks that are on the line, but if I know, I think of a lot of times of people who are in accounting. My sister's an accountant, and one of my like best recruiter friends, she specializes in finance and in accounting placements. And so a lot of times when I meet people and they like, oh, I'm an accountant, I'm instantly, my brain is like firing on all cylinders, because I'm like, ooh, I can't wait to connect you. I can't wait to introduce you to this person. And so it ends up being such an exciting and fun time for me to be the catalyst in somebody else's career. Listen, we want to help you. The people in your network, we truly, sincerely want to help you. Oftentimes we don't know how. We don't know what you're looking for. And it's because our profiles say things like, hi, my name is Michael. I don't know, I'm just making up a name. Hi, my name is Michael, and I like to help people. Well, I don't know what that means, Michael. Do you like to help people? Are you a garbage man because they help people? Are you a nurse because they help people? Are you a cashier because they help people? Like, in what way do you help people? And so we're going to talk a little bit more about that in just a moment or two. But this is so crucial right here, right here. Like, even if you do nothing else that we talked about today, spend some time, once you are connected with people, actually staying engaged with them, following up, just saying hello. It doesn't need to be deep. It doesn't need to take all day, but it usually is the thing that starts to establish trust and goodwill with other people. Okay, so I hope that this is resonating with you, as we carry on to the next point. All right, and so the final 4 minutes in our 15 minutes per day strategy is participate in groups. Again, these are groups of like-minded individuals, like-minded professionals who do what you do or care about what you care about. And so what a brilliant opportunity for professional development. Brilliant, right? And so I think about a situation a couple of years ago when I asked a question, and it was something that I really hadn't faced before, and I could have figured it out. I could have, read a couple of books, did some internet research for hours. I could have read some articles. I could have did all sorts of things to come up with the answer to the question. But what I did instead was post my question to a couple of groups. And within a few hours, I actually had a few dozen perspectives so that I could just draw my own conclusion. I'm like, wow. Yes, associations. Thank you, Jason. Associations, right? Other people who do what you do, who care about the work that you do as much as you. Listen, this is where the knowledge center of the universe. And so let's make sure that we are plugging in and staying connected with people in these groups, because we have a lot to learn. All of us have a lot to learn. It doesn't matter that I've been doing this for many years, almost 2 decades at this point. It doesn't matter. I'm still constantly learning always. I love it. Thank you so much, Jason. I love that encouragement. I need it. I crave it. Thank you. Okay. All right. And here we are, right? And repeat. 15 minutes per day. Homepage, right? Searching for people, sending invitations, sending personal messages, participating in groups, and kind of wash, rinse, and repeat. If you're struggling, set a timer. Set a timer for either 15 minutes or these little mini timers for 5 minutes, 4 minutes, 2 minutes. Do what you have to do, but the point is, I do want you to show up to LinkedIn at least Monday through Friday for at least 15 minutes a day. Now, if you want to multiply, you can, right? If you're just like, ooh, I'm on a roll, that was good. I connected with some great people in that 5 minutes. Awesome. Do it again. Take that whole 15-minute strategy and do it again and do it again if you like. Of course, as job seekers, you're probably also going to spend some time on their jobs board, applying for some different things. You're also going to do some specific things over there. But I'm talking in general. Again, we oftentimes just don't really know what to post, what to do, what to say, who to say it to. And so a lot of these things we have to, we just needed a game plan. We just needed a formula. And so, somebody's asking, am I going to discuss premium? Ooh, hold your horses. Yes, I will. And so thank you, Harvey. Appreciate you. But yes, the bottom line is be consistent, right? Be consistent, show up, because I'm going to tell you one thing that will kind of turn people off more than others is when we do reach out to you and say, hey, I've got this opportunity, or hey, I was thinking about you, and I don't hear a response for like months and months. And it's because you're just not showing up on LinkedIn. And so a lot of times I'm hearing that job seekers are even missing out on interview requests because they're not checking their messages. They have no idea what's going on. And so just kind of be consistent. Don't do it for me, do it for you. Do it for you and do it for those relationships that you're looking to nurture. Because this is what we do. We show up, we push, right? Do y'all think this is my company name by accident? It is not. We show up, we do the work, we push, okay? And so I want to talk about some things here, just some of these like easy peasy things that we can do that sometimes we don't think to do. And they're sometimes the simplest but deal breakers if they're not paid attention to. And so, yes, bottom line, look, come on, let's have a photo. I think the message has been just shared, over and over and over again. Like, we have to have a photo. It establishes trust. Without a photo, there's like a wall that goes up. And so please just photo, good quality photo. We're all excited for Career Connectors to get back to in-person events so that they can get back to those professional portraits, because those are awesome.
We actually have a way right now. You'll see later in. Yep.
Okay, so make sure you all are staying tuned.
No excuse.
That sounds like something that's super exciting.
Yeah.
And so photos, non-selfie photos, by the way, meaningful headlines, right? What does that mean? That means that we're not just saying things like, hi, my name is Brenda and I like to help people, right? I like to help people connect the dots in their lives. Like, what does that even mean? And so make sure that we're using plain language that's universally understood. Think about it this way. If I'm searching for a realtor, do you think I'm going to type the search term realtor, or do you think I'm going to type the search term somebody who likes to help people? That was a trick question, because of course I'm going to search for the term realtor. And so let's make sure that we're using meaningful language, meaningful titles in our headlines and all throughout our profile, so that we can start to show up in the right kinds of search results. Similarly, the content-rich profile, right? If you are gonna go through the trouble of creating an account and checking in with LinkedIn and following this 15-minute formula, make sure your profile is put together. Make sure it has the right kind of content. Again, keywords, they are a thing. And so whether we kind of want to believe it or not, they are a thing, and they help us to show up in the right search results, and they help people like recruiters to connect with us for the right kinds of opportunities. So really pay attention. Open to work badge. I just wanted to spend a moment talking about it. I don't know how often it comes up here at Career Connectors, but the little green badge around your photo that says open to work. And listen, there are multiple schools of thought on the open to work badge, but let me just kind of let you in on a little itty bitty secret, that discrimination exists in all sorts of forms. And unemployment bias is one of those forms. And so it actually can sometimes work against you. Now, can it work in your favor? Sure, because somebody can immediately make the connection. Okay, this person is probably looking for opportunities. And so you have to make your own adult decisions there, but do so with your eyes wide open, understanding kind of the pros and cons. Sheila.
Isn't there also a setting that you can turn on that tells recruiters
Absolutely.
that you're looking,
So,
that would not be visible then?
exactly.
When
So
someone looks at
you
your
can
profile. Okay.
still articulate that you are open to work without the badge.
Without advertising it to the world.
Right. And so
Yeah.
when you set it to say, hey, share this only with recruiters, you're golden. But when you say share it with everybody, it'll put that green band around and there's just a kind of a connection that is made mentally and emotionally with people. And so some will perceive it positively and others will not. And so you'll never please everybody. So don't ever try. Make the decision that is best for you, understanding both sides of that equation. Listen, spell check is not the same as proofreading. And so form and from might both be spelled right, Kitty. Come on, can I get an amen? And so spell check. Form and from might both be spelled correctly, but which word was the one you meant to use? And so we've got to make sure, and listen, friends, if English is not your first language, feel free to have somebody else proofread your stuff for you. It doesn't have to be your strength, but it should be accounted for. And so proofread and spell check, and we're gonna tee those two up for the win. Okay. And then finally, I say, ask for strong, but it says and specific recommendations. Because if your recommendations just say, hey, Sheila is a great worker, anybody will be lucky to have her on their team. Like, yeah, not so much. I don't, there's nothing really happening in my emotions. Like I feel nothing. I am unmoved by that. But if it says, Sheila, if you need an operations expert who will answer the call, who can figure out the technology, who can, engage with the people and who can run the show behind the scenes and on the center stage. And if you need somebody who is just wonderful and friendly and warm and technically competent and capable, then you absolutely must have Sheila on your team. That's the kind of recommendation that I want to see. And so if you've got people writing recommendations for you, please be specific about what you'd like them to say, right? Hey, can you write me a recommendation specifically with regards to my project management expertise, as opposed to, would you write me a recommendation on LinkedIn? Because what I might write would be very generic versus what you need, which is very specific. Bottom line, as we come to this close, and certainly I will remain open for question as long as there is time, but the bottom line is that LinkedIn is about establishing and nurturing professional relationships. Do that thing, and when you have need of people, they are so very happy to help you in any way that they can. Introductions, right? Sharing resources, circulating your resume. Indeed, at some point it is appropriate, but not when you just met me for the very first time, okay? And then of course, LinkedIn is not magic. We talked about this. It's not magic. You'll reap what you sow. You'll get what you get. And so everything, the person who asked about, will I talk about the premium version? So yes, LinkedIn does have a premium version that costs money and you can invest, and there are some benefits, right? LinkedIn learning options, you can do some additional things there. You can have some additional insights as a job seeker, like how you compare to some of the other applicants. There are a couple of really special bonuses that you get with the LinkedIn premium version. However, friends, everything that I have talked to you about today can be accomplished for free. I like free. It's a very good word, right? And so I don't believe in paying money if I don't absolutely have to. And so with everything that we talked about, you can, like, comment, share, post, you can search for people, send out invitations to folks that are not in your network at all. You can send these personal messages, you can participate in groups, and all of these things cost you nothing. So I would encourage you to explore and exhaust all of the free options, unless you, of course, just have unlimited budget and you can just go for the premium, because there is value there. But it's not something that is going to keep you from being successful without it. I hope that that helps to the individual who asked.
We did have a question earlier, Brenda. It probably got buried, but it was around someone just coming out of school with a master's in, I think, public administration. And she was asking, are government jobs on LinkedIn? Is LinkedIn useful kind of for all industries?
I'd still set up a profile for sure, because you don't know who's going to be looking at your profile. Government does operate a little bit differently, but I promise you, people somewhere in the chain of decision making, somebody's going to take a look at your profile. And so whether you believe or whether it is absolutely necessary or not is irrelevant. Do it for your benefit. Do it because sometimes opportunities that you weren't even looking for now find you because you're present and active on LinkedIn. And so, you know, if government is your focus, great. And of course, I assume you're probably more spending your time on like USA jobs or what have you. That's great, but don't underestimate the power of LinkedIn just to attract other opportunities. And if nothing more, for you to connect and stay connected with other people.
Good
Okay,
point.
I love the question. Thank you so much. Any other questions? I am here for you. LinkedIn is a great tool. I don't get paid to say that. And so I hope that you all understand and really feel my heart as we talk about LinkedIn. And I pray to God that you all would truly connect with me. Connect. Don't follow me, right? Don't just like my little company page. Connect with me, because Brenda is a real life person and she actually responds. And so, but connecting with me does not mean, hey, Brenda, can you take a look at my LinkedIn profile and give me some feedback? That's not what that means. Connecting with me is saying, hey, Brenda, I love what you're doing. I'd love to just stay connected. Don't make ask before we have earned the right to do so.
That's right.
All right. So with that, I am all done. You have survived an hour of talking about LinkedIn with Brenda, and I am so very grateful to have had this opportunity. And I hope that it encouraged you and gave you a true game plan. And let's keep pushing together.
Beautiful. Thank you, Brenda. Well, if you're not going to talk about it, I am. Brenda is on Facebook almost every Monday morning. She does an open career Q&A. And let me tell you, that is the best way you can start your week. So show up bright and early Monday mornings and watch for Brenda. And there's another chance to have conversation and ask an expert your questions. And that Crush the Pink Slip book, that's where it's at. I think it's on Amazon, right, Brenda?
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah, so please take advantage of that as well. Brenda, thank you for being here. I appreciate it. And you'll be here in the breakout rooms.
Yes.
Perfect. Awesome. All right. Next up, we have Heather Sepik with Terros Health. Heather is a recruiter that's been with Terros for almost 6 years with a bachelor's in marketing and over 5 years of recruitment experience. She enjoys meeting new people and helping them find their dream job. I love that. Welcome, Heather.
Thank you. Thank you, Sheila. Thank you to Career Connectors for allowing me to join today's event. I'm excited to be here. And Brenda, that's a lot of valuable information regarding LinkedIn. As a recruiter, I use LinkedIn, but I learned a lot from you today. So thank you. I'm excited to go and update my profile and learn it in different new ways too. So I'm here to talk to you today about Terros Health and some career opportunities that we have available. For those of you who may not be familiar, Terros Health is a healthcare organization that is serving the whole person. So we have integrated healthcare services all throughout Arizona. We started out in 1969. It was just basically a group of friends, just a bunch of hippie teenagers that recognized a need for helping those in the community that were struggling with addiction or maybe had substance abuse issues. They basically banded together to help those that were in desperate need. Started out like one small building in Phoenix, and now we've grown exponentially. Little did they know that their outreach was the beginning of something much bigger that has now been around for over 50 years. So a lot of good history with Terros Health. We are a nonprofit integrated healthcare company. Our compelling purpose is to inspire change for life. And that doesn't stop with those that we serve. We believe in inspiring change for life with our employees too. So we are looking for those that mirror our values of integrity, compassion, and empowerment. So if you're drawn to helping individuals, you want to help those that are maybe struggling with substance abuse, or they maybe have mental health issues, we have services for families, individuals, all ages and all walks of life. Next slide, please, Sheila. So as I mentioned, we are an integrated healthcare company. We focus on the whole person. So that means that we provide primary healthcare services. So if you have somebody who needs to see a medical provider, maybe for like they have high blood pressure or they have, hypertension, diabetes, we have medical providers in several of our locations that can meet them for those purposes. We actually have pharmacies on site in 6 of our locations as well. So they can get a lot of services under one roof, which at Terros Health, we believe that those services are very closely linked together, the whole person, the mind and the body. So we find that we have terrific success in treating individuals with a lot of those services in one location. It's integrated care. And last year, we helped more than 65,000 Arizonans on the path to better health and improved quality of life. We help people live their lives in recovery, and we save lives every day. That includes even our mobile crisis services, which are literally going out 24 hours a day, helping individuals wherever they are, all throughout the community. We currently have 15 locations throughout Arizona, and we are a stable and growing company. We actually have just been awarded a grant for our Families First program, which I'll talk about in a little bit more detail in a bit here. But it's exciting because Terros Health has been participating in the Families First program for several years, but the grant that we just were awarded effective February of this year, it allows us to expand throughout Arizona. So we have new roles that have come available, hiring for positions outside of our normal realm, which is typically in the Phoenix Valley area. We have a Families First program down in Tucson, and we have services as far north as Flagstaff. But this new grant with Families First is allowing us to open up locations, not necessarily open clinics, but have positions that are based out of various locations all throughout Arizona. So it's very exciting for us. It's an exciting time to join Terros Health. Next slide, please. So I want to talk a little bit about our benefits. All full-time employees are eligible for our full benefits plan. As one of the state's leading healthcare providers, Terros Health offers great work-life balance and continued career progression, which is important to a lot of people. A lot of times when I speak with applicants, they ask me, well, this is the position I'm looking for today, but what are my growth opportunities? How can I grow my career with Terros Health? And that's something that is one of my favorite aspects, is that we really do encourage that. We encourage personal growth and development. We have continued training available. If you're an individual who's currently working in direct care and you want to continue your education, go on and get your master's, you want to become licensed to provide licensed clinical services, we have individuals that can provide that supervision for hours and want to help you grow your career with us as well. Each new full-time hire is eligible to participate in our employee benefits plan the first of the month following their month of hire. So I think this is pretty special as well, because we don't have a 90-day waiting period. Sometimes, depending on the day of the month that you begin employment with us, I've seen individuals that become fully benefit eligible as early as the next day. So it just kind of depends on when you start, but there's just the beginning of the month following your month of hire. We also have an honor scholarship program that provides an opportunity for financial aid to Terros Health employees. It's for those who are in good standing and enrolled in a master's program, and again, looking to continue their education for their career goals. Employees can just apply for the honor scholarship, and I know some individuals that have significantly benefited from that plan and are very grateful for it. So it's something nice that I believe we can offer for our employees. As you see on this slide, we have medical, dental, and vision, your standard insurance. We use Blue Cross Blue Shield, and there's currently 10 different programs or plans that you can choose from. We also have group life and disability insurance, 401k. Employees can begin contributing to 401k from their first day of employment, and then we match up to 4% of your contributions after 6 months. You can also roll in if you have an existing 401k. Of course, you can merge those as well. And we have generous PTO and paid sick leave, which includes 4 weeks of paid time off within your first year. and a really fantastic wellness and employee assistance plan. The wellness program is really fun. I will say that we've had a lot of unique challenges, like a virtual hike across the Grand Canyon one month. And so it encourages healthy competition between employees. So everybody tracks their steps, which can be converted from everything from bicycling to swimming. It doesn't have to be literally walking, but with a lot of us working from home, it's just kind of a nice way to encourage employees to get out and get those steps in, take care of their wellness. And there's a lot of fun drawings and prizes that are offered to employees too. So just something fun that encourages our wellness and well-being. Next slide, please. So with Terros Health being quite large, I mentioned we have over 15 locations throughout the Valley. I'm not able to speak to the number of positions that we have available. I wouldn't have enough time today, and I'm sure Sheila would yell at me if I took all of the time today, but I want to just highlight a few of our positions. Of course, everything that we have available for hire is on our careers page, which I'll mention to you as well. But I want to talk to you a little bit about a couple of key positions within the Families First program, which we have recently been expanded to allow a lot of new opportunities that we're able to offer within Terros. So Families First stands for Families in Recovery Succeeding Together. And this is a program that helps families that are involved with the Department of Child Safety who are experiencing substance abuse issues. So it's working with families, maybe if they've lost their children, to possibly help reunify them with their families, help them work through their issues to just become a unit, the solidified family unit. The assessment clinician position works closely with DCS, providing counseling services and assessments. The minimum requirements for that role is a master's degree in the behavioral health field. And then also listed here is the Families First Care Coordinator, which also works closely with DCS, of course, and community resources to help streamline services. So they're really helping connect these families with resources, both within Terros, but also within the community, just to kind of help connect them in any way that they can to receive the services that they need. There is a minimum qualification requirement of an associate's degree in the behavioral health field with at least 3 years of experience in behavioral health as well. Next slide, please. Then we have also on the Families First program is a recovery coach. And this one is a really special role because it's for an individual that has gone through the Families First program themselves. So someone who has successfully completed the program, drawing on their own lived experience, and that wants to serve as a mentor and a role model to help others that may be going through the exact same thing they did. Minimum requirement is a high school or GED and 6 weeks of behavioral health experience. And then we also have several different clinician positions available all throughout Arizona, really. We do have sign-on bonuses available for this role specifically, which requires at least a master's degree in the behavioral health field and either a license or be eligible for licensure. Go to the next slide, please. Here you can see if you're looking to apply for any of these positions that I've mentioned, or again, there's so many more that I'm not able to touch on today, but if you go to our careers page, which is terroshealth.org/careers, you can see all of our positions that we have open right now. Most of them are going to be full-time with benefits available. And then my contact information is here as well. So I'm going to post my LinkedIn page on the chat shortly here. So feel free to connect with me on LinkedIn. My phone number is also listed as well as my email. And if you have any questions, I will be available this afternoon for the breakout sessions as well.
All right, Heather, I wanted to really quick, someone asked in chat, do you hire LPCs to do virtual? Are any of your roles virtual available?
We do have some roles that are virtual. It's kind of a mix because all of our locations are currently open and we are welcoming patients to come into our clinics, but Terros Health has been providing services via telehealth as well. So we just implemented that early last year, I want to say like about a year ago with the pandemic. So we're kind of doing a hybrid of providing a lot of services via telehealth as much as possible, but we are in person too. So it just kind of depends on the location and the position. But yes, that is something that we are open to.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah.
All right. And I believe we have Jessica back.
Yay, thank you, Sheila. I was reading through some of the comments, and yes, Sheila is a rock star for sure. So, you've got my back more than I can count. So thanks, Sheila, so much for. And then Brenda, I'm so sorry I missed your talk today, but I know it was phenomenal because you are phenomenal. And I just love working with you. So Brenda has been a long time supporter of Career Connectors and highly valued in the work that we do. So thank you so much. And I love your hair, by the way. It looks beautiful. All right. And Heather, thank you for giving us your overview of Terros today. And I caught the back end of it. And I know you guys have a lot going on. So thanks for being here and being a feature for us today. All right. If I haven't connected with you on LinkedIn yet, I dropped my LinkedIn URL in there. So I would love to connect with you all. And I know the topic today was about connecting. I'm sure Brenda talked a lot about that. I actually could see her slides going as I was doing my podcast over here. And so that's really important to be able to engage. So I'm happy to connect with you. I would love that. And now we're going to move on to our next speaker today, Jordan Ringwalk. And Jordan is the Director of Talent Acquisition. She is currently based in Syracuse, New York, but she's in the process of relocating her family to the Willscot Mobile Mini corporate headquarters in Phoenix. Prior to Willscot, Jordan spent 5 years working for the world's largest staffing company, and then she found her home where she's been working for the last 5.5 years. So please help me welcome Jordan Ringwald to our talk today.
Thank you so much for the intro and good morning, everyone. I'm happy to be here and happy to represent Willscot Mobile Mini. I am going to hit send right now, and I just put my LinkedIn link in the chat. So really happy to connect with everyone. Feel free to reach out to me. If you're from Phoenix, you likely have heard of Mobile Mini. Mobile Mini recently merged with the company that I've been working for, Willscot. So we do have a video that our marketing team put together. It's a wonderful snapshot of our combined company, and would love to share that with all of you.
We are moving to a whole new level, bringing together the best people in the industry, the largest asset base in North America, the deepest resources and knowledge. Together, we will lead the industry. We will continue to pursue our strategy, always driving, always improving to make it easy for our customers. Together, we will build a better business. Our focus has always been to provide customers with a total site solution. Now, we have the scope and scale to deliver like never before. Together, we will dominate the market. We will be a one-stop shop that covers the entire workspace. Office, storage, office essentials, job site essentials, tanks and pumps. Together, we will own the job site. We'll serve our customers like no one else can, handling every detail from the first call to the final pickup. Together, we will be their single point of contact. Our hard work and diverse skills have made us who we are today. Our shared values will guide us towards tomorrow. Together, we will support our customers, our communities, and each other. Because of you, we will be unstoppable. We are stronger together. Together, we are ready to work.
Okay, so that video does a much better job than I could at providing an overview of our combined companies. So at the simplest form, what we do is provide temporary space for our customers. Our bread and butter is providing space to the commercial construction industry. So mobile offices and storage containers, but we do so much more than that. So Willscot Mobile Mini Holding Corp is now headquartered in Phoenix. Our corporate office is about 3 minutes from the Phoenix airport. We are a publicly traded company and trade on the NASDAQ stock exchange under the symbol WSC. I do like to mention that because if stability is important to you, I really encourage you to take a look at financials and kind of look through the future of our combined company in terms of making a decision on where you want to land. So as mentioned, we're a leader in modular space and portable storage solutions. We formed in 2020, merging Willscot and Mobile Mini together. And now we're totally in growth mode. So to the point where we're trying to keep up, our recruiting team is trying to keep up with all of the recs that are opening, and we're creating a lot of new positions to support the combined business. And we're also backfilling for roles where maybe we're adding a new branch, or there's a lot of different things going on like that. So let's move to the next slide. One of the first things we did as a combined company is redefine what our combined company values would be. So a really strong focus on dedication to health and safety, commitment to inclusion and diversity, driven to excellence, trustworthy and reliable, devoted to our customers and the communities we serve. I included a quote from our CEO, which I love, but the entire premise being that our core values continue to guide our combined company towards not only achieving our true potential, but also driving our business with a more rewarding culture. So if these values resonate with you, I do encourage you to, look through our job opportunities. And I do have a slide, next slide, on the open roles, just a snapshot. I mean, right now we have over 300 positions available. So it's very likely that you'll find something that's of interest. But on the left-hand column, you'll see these are a snapshot of the positions that are open at our corporate office. And again, this is just a snapshot. And then on the right-hand side, these are the positions we most regularly hire for at all of our field offices. And then next slide just shows how to apply. So there's a link, and I'll just put it in the chat, where you can go and kind of filter out different jobs and titles that you're looking for. Check out the positions that we have open today. I also encourage you to follow our company pages on LinkedIn. Even if you don't see something that's open that you're interested in, please feel free to reach out to me. We are growing that fast that there could be a role that's being created as we speak that would be of interest. So I just encourage you to connect with me, connect with the business on our business pages through LinkedIn. And if you see something of interest, not only apply, but let me know that you applied so I can get you in touch with the right person. So hope that helps. Really appreciate being invited to this and looking forward to connecting with all of you soon.
Thank you, Jordan. Appreciate you being here. It's great to see you guys growing. Fantastic. Thanks so much. All right, let's move over to John Walters. John, welcome back. It's so good to see you here.
You know, it's my favorite place to be. We're making insurance cool.
So John is with us today. He's currently a sales director at Liberty Mutual Insurance, overseeing multiple agency operations in Scottsdale, Tucson, and Prescott. John has over 25 years in the risk management industry, working on the front lines, and Liberty Mutual has recognized his innovation with the prestigious President's Award. John currently serves on the State of Arizona Workforce Council and chairs the subcommittee on measuring effectiveness. He's also past president of Arizona Insurance, which is AZIN. It's a nonprofit trade association comprised of insurance companies. Guys, he also spent 20 years in the U.S. Army after enlisting as a field medic. He completed officer candidate school and moved into cavalry operations. His career includes a tour in Iraq where he was awarded the Bronze Star. John, you are awesome. Thank you for serving and thank you for being here today. Welcome.
Love the invite. I always appreciate it. Gonna have some time to talk about insurance and making it fun for you. It's always interesting because I spend time watching our commercials as an industry, and I think we do an amazing job with our lizards to our emus to Jake and everything else, but we don't really pull you in and help you see how amazing our industry and our companies are. I'm going to really obviously dive into Liberty Mutual today. And if you give me a quick click to the next slide. When you're thinking about launching your next career, one of the things I love to do, and if we were in a group, I'd have everybody raise their say, hey, tell me a background that doesn't fit into insurance. And then as each one of your hands went down, because I literally could answer where every one of your backgrounds fit in the insurance world. The stereotype is call center and sales. That's about 10% of our world. The 90% answer is we need all kinds of backgrounds, all kinds of people to keep this running. One of the huge challenges in our industry, and Liberty is the same, is about 45% of our entire workforce is age 50 and over. That's super cool if you're going to retire the next 15 years. It's super crazy on the other side if you're trying to keep multi-million dollar and billion-dollar corporations and businesses moving forward. So coming into the industry right now is an awesome opportunity because the mentorship's there, the opportunity to advance is there, and we are growing at a very, very rapid rate. If we could do a quick click, to give you kind of perspective on Liberty Mutual, 50,000 employees, 30 countries across the globe. So if your hearts and dreams are to live in Phoenix, we got you. Thousands of jobs in Arizona alone. But if you want to go anywhere else internationally, no worries. We've got your back there too. As you see on the next slide as we go forward, Liberty Mutual is a huge player. It's a Fortune 100 carrier. And right now we're about 142 billion in assets. We're expected to double that over the next couple of years to become one of the largest international players in the insurance industry. In the US, we do run third, and that's again all in when you look about property and when you talk about auto claims. The other piece that often is overlooked is the exciting things that we do. It's when tough times hit, we're the ones helping people pick up the pieces. You always see these crazy floods in Texas, or the big storms coming through Florida and the East Coast. We're the ones that get to go there and help people rebuild their lives. And so if you want to make an amazing impact in somebody's life, this is the industry that really gives you that chance and do it at a very large scale. As we transition to the next slide, I think it's always important to stop for a moment and pause and go, let's talk culture. Culture is huge. One of the things that I love about Liberty is on the top right, you see serve, and the bottom left is give. And one of the things that Liberty does for us, it allows us to serve and give. So one of the things that I'll do once a year is one of my favorite groups, so it's not a plug, but it really is a plug, because Feed My Starving Children is one of my favorite organizations. So once a year, we allow employees to volunteer different places. Frequently, a group of us will go and do Feed My Starving Children. If you've ever done those bags of food, it's a ton of fun. It's exciting. It gives us a chance, paid day to go do that. And on the give side, organizations like Feed My Starving Children and others, they will match 50 cents to every dollar you donate. So if you're thinking about what's the culture of the company, how are we giving back to communities? If you want to donate to different places and the payroll deduction right on through, then they turn around and match that 50 cents on the dollar. Again, making a very, very cool and very, very impressive impact on it. As we click forward, the other thing that's awesome is we have huge groups within Liberty where we have opportunities for different organizations and people of different backgrounds, from the military to we have women's groups, people of color, and where you have employee resource groups that you can then connect with and really find your home at Liberty Mutual. So if you think about the communities you serve in, then how do I connect? We just started a brand new group that's not even on the list yet called ABLE, and that's for people that care for others of disabilities. Maybe it's a parent, but maybe it's a child or somebody else that's in your household. But it's one of those things that we really want to connect the employees to the company and know that, yes, we're big, but we're much closer, we're much tighter knit. And that culture is enormous and very important, because in the end, we know if we take amazing care of you, you're going to do an amazing job with our clients. And that's obviously something we always want to do well. As we roll forward, and you're thinking about, hey, I love it. I love where you're going, John. This is amazing. I know you're going to be in the breakout rooms. I want to talk to you. Who should apply? These really capture the main attributes of a lot of Liberty Mutual employee. Think about it, the drive and enthusiasm. I got to tell you, when you're there helping somebody pick a car wreck, that enthusiasm of, hey, I'm here to help you. I got your back, support you. I'm making this a positive experience. So I'm working with you to write a policy, to everything in between makes a huge difference, right? The network marketing and the ability to drive a business. If you're interested in the sales side of it, our business model is very unique in the industry where you're literally running a business inside of a business. And that's exciting because you have huge support networks, you have huge opportunities. Communication's great, right? You think about it, if you need to work with somebody, hey, when they can talk great, type great, and communicate, that is amazing. The last piece I just want to touch base briefly on this is really the goal orientation. So regardless of your goals, whether it's moving forward in your education, we have the tuition reimbursement piece that you're eligible for. Whether your goals are to do things more in your community, to start a nonprofit, to again, grow in other areas. We're one of those companies that literally wants you to grow personally, wants you to grow also in your professional career. And that's what makes Liberty so unique and so exciting. And the industry of, hey, let's move forward. And what we're doing out there in the greater community is so exciting. Setting goals and moving goals forward is something we spend a ton of time with, because we know you're awesome today. And guess what? We want you even more awesome tomorrow. And that's one of those exciting things that the goal and the orientation piece really drives. The last piece is, I think it's always worth mentioning, is there's two key roles here in Phoenix that I am most passionate about. So let's get John's biases out on the table. Outside sales, because that's the organization I oversee. We've got sales associate roles, amazing opportunities where you have a combination of a salary, combination of variable compensation, which is a commission if you want to go down that road, right? We love that road. As you're thinking about it, we have a ton of inside options also. My challenge to you is, if you're thinking of industry and an opportunity that's very broad, hit me up in chat. And if the outside sales or the sales associate role is perfect for you, awesome. I'm the hiring manager. We'll get that moving fast. If not, I'm going to connect you to the right people and to the right place. So that way you're connected within Liberty Mutual. And if I think you're a better fit with some of my peer companies, from the Allstates to the State Farms, I got a ton of great friends out there. And if I think there's a better fit for you, I'll guide you there too, because I love this industry that much. And I know it's that strong. And if we can bring amazing people like you into it, we've got an amazing opportunity. So with that, I definitely want to bounce it back to Jessica.
Awesome. Thank you, John. You always make insurance sound fun.
It is fun. Don't be misled.
That's awesome. And it's one of the top 5 growing industries in Arizona. So huge need here, a lot of great opportunities. And I always, when I talk to people about the insurance industry, people are always surprised at the type of opportunities that are available. And so the career pathways that are established in the industry, it's awesome. So we really appreciate you being here. All right. Let's bring on our friend, Jason Wiseman. Jason is with us from WealthWave. After spending 2 decades in the corporate world in the semiconductor industry, his business experience has ranged from owning his own consulting firm to purchasing a franchise that he and his wife ran. And then the past 15 years has been spent managing his own agency. He's been recognized for his performance in the top 500, been a feature on the cover of Business and Finance magazine, and is a multiple 6-figure earner. Jason co-authored a best-selling book called Winning Ways, and he's been married for 29 years, 2 children, and he is the senior marketing director for WealthWave. I'm excited to have him here because over the last year, we've had a lot of focus and a lot of questions about different type of honor opportunities, both in as W-2 employees, contractors, and then business ownership. And so Jason has a great opportunity that I think we already know many of you have looked into. And so please help me welcome Jason Wiseman with WealthWave.
Thank you so much, Jessica. Can you hear me okay?
I gotcha.
Very good. So first of all, it's always fun being here with Career Connectors. I think this is a fantastic organization. I met Jessica when she was just starting this group. Like a decade ago, if I'm not mistaken, maybe a little bit further back than that even. And I love to see the growth that's happened and how many people you've been able to help. So let me jump right in here. I want to talk about our vision and mission and how it has impacted my life. In 2007, I was working in the corporate world and not very satisfied. I worked for a global semiconductor company. We had laid off people. Every year I had been there, the first year was 60,000 people globally. It was a huge company. We laid off 60,000 people, and it didn't stop. It just kept tumbling and tumbling and tumbling. And my job was fairly secure, but just being in that environment started to wear on me a little bit. So I thought I would look outside, do something different. But along the way, I said to my spouse, Nora, that we need to do something about our retirement plan, because I don't feel like it's performing and is going to do for us what we need it to do. And so I reached out to our CPA, who made a referral to somebody that he used out of his office. And we sat with this guy, and this is what was different, which is why I want to start with our vision. And it had to do with financial literacy. So our experience with him was education first. I learned some things that I didn't know. I verified, by the way, some of the things that this gentleman said to us with my CPA. They were all true. And so we started a new plan to enhance what we were already doing. And when we finished with that, I started thinking about my parents, who never was on anybody's radar. And I thought, how did I get this far down a road and not have some guidance, a financial professional, somebody to help me? And even the CPA that we had didn't refer us or connect us. And there's a whole other reason for that. It's just oftentimes they're not proactive in that nature. But it was clear that we needed some help, and it frustrated me a little bit. And I was peeved that I did not have this knowledge. I have a bachelor's degree. My wife has a bachelor's degree. We were not uneducated, but we really were naive about money. And so when we finished our plan, I looked at him and said, what does it take to do what you do? And so we sit here today, all these years later, with a platform that has evolved. As it says here, we want to provide financial literacy to people. We don't teach it in schools. There's 5 billion people on the planet that can't answer basic money questions. It really is the number one economic crisis that we have. Our mission behind that is to help families get on their feet financially, from an emergency fund, debt management, cash flow, investment, retirement perspective, so that they can go live the golden years of retirement as it should be for all the work that's put in. But in order to do that, you've got to be a little bit different. It was apparent to me 15 years ago that the overall financial industry, was not aiming at a family like mine. It was aiming at people that had $500,000 or $1 million to invest. That really narrows the scope of their work and shrinks the market size down to something very small. They just didn't evolve with time and population growth and the economy to serve middle American households, which is the vast majority of people. So we're different by design. Our How Money Works platform has been featured on over 139 television shows over the last 14 months, everything from CNBC to our local Channel 3 news station. The book was on there and it was featured and there were questions asked. The response has been overwhelming, so we know that our aim is in the right place. We're distributing right now about 54,000 How Money Works books a month to individuals, businesses, families that are taking these principles and putting them into play. Over the last year, this slide is not updated, but we helped 350,000 families with some type of financial education, and we're doing it inside of the world's largest industry. Financial services is a $109 trillion marketplace. I will echo what John said at Liberty, that the average age of a CFP is over 70 right now. We have more over 70 than we do under the age of 30. And unfortunately, fortunately for them, they're still able to work and they're still able to do things, but they are retiring at a very, very high pace right now. And our population growth, just with the millennials alone, is outpacing the number of people in our industry to serve them. So it is a massive opportunity, just like it is for them. And so we're looking for the right people. And one of the things that we've done is we've really created a model to help somebody transition. I am a byproduct of that. I did not just up and leave my job. I was able to start part-time, which is very unique in our industry. And when the time was right for me, I made the decision to leave my trained career, my previously trained career, and move into having a business of my own, and now running that agency for the last, as Jessica said, almost 15 years now. So here's the deal. Why would you choose WealthWave, our brand? Number one, we are a subsidiary company of Transamerica. So just like Nike has Air Jordan, and I don't know what other brands they have today, we are branded as WealthWave. We are in an independent distribution channel, which if you don't know what that means, it just means we're not captive to a single company or brand, which means when we sit with families, we give them the education piece first, and then whatever solution might be right for them, we get to go find the solution for them rather than them fitting into a product that we have or a company name that we have. So it's like going to Costco and getting the products that you need or want, not just walking into a Reebok store and only getting Reebok tennis shoes. So that's huge. Turnkey solution. It's a licensed quality profession. Those licenses are extremely valuable. There's ownership here. We have a digital platform like no other in the industry, in our industry. The great thing about that is we were so far out ahead looking forward that when COVID struck a year ago, everything that we have today was already in place and we were already using it. The only stumbling block for us is we had to learn how to use Zoom, right? Or GoToMeeting a lot better than how we already knew how to use it. We let people start part-time. We have not had a layoff in the 15 years that I've been here. Our field force has actually grown. When I started as a company, the overall company between the US and Canada had 11,000 licensed people. Today we have over 50,000. So we're growing and getting stronger all the time. The mentorship and training is probably the thing that I couldn't have afforded to pay for it at the level that it was coming at me, but it's something that we provide. We're big believers in paying it forward. We want our agents to be strong and stable, and one of the ways that we can get them there faster is by pairing them up with somebody that has experience, the know-how, the do-how, to make sure that they don't step on any of the landmines, so to speak, that can come along with having a business and starting something new. We want to guide them through that process so that it's nice and smooth. And then we've got, collectively, a 40-year history of being able to help families get on their feet and in the right position so that they can thrive from a financial perspective. And we focus on things that are important to those individuals and those families, emergency funds, debt management, long-term care. This is a big, huge deal in people's lives today. It's terribly expensive. It comes pretty fast for most people. It's hard to navigate, and it takes a significant amount of income to help pay just to get things started until other benefits may kick in. So we're very cognitive of that. We're forward looking, and we want people to retire happy and not be like the 62% of people today over the age of 55 who say they're more afraid of outliving their money than they are of dying. That makes no sense whatsoever. I'd hate to think that I find myself in a situation where I go to bed at night and I'd rather just die in my sleep than wake up and figure out that we ran out of money. Like that doesn't sound like any fun. So I always get questions on how to learn more, what to do. So what I've done is I've set up a session for this evening. You can grab this QR code with your phone, just take a picture of it. That's going to send an email directly to me. And you just tell me, hey, I'm interested in learning more. I'll respond with the link for the Zoom meeting. And I'm an open book. Jessica will tell you, Sheila will tell you, I'll share anything and my knowledge, whatever. I'm also pretty well connected. I love what Brenda said about just getting to know people. I've helped people make connections with other people to get jobs outside of what we do. My philosophy is, a rising tide lifts all ships. So let's connect. Let's get to know each other. I'll answer all your questions. And Jessica, thank you for the time and for allowing us to be here today. We really appreciate it.
Absolutely. Thank you, Jason. Appreciate your time. All right, so now we're just going to finish out our event and then we'll move over into breakout sessions. So we have some really good resources for you guys here. The first one, if you have any feedback for us, we would love to hear from you. Just shoot us a note at contact@careerconnectors.org and we will be able to read that, take it in. If you're looking for specific companies that you haven't been able to get a hold of, and you want us to feature them, we would love to hear from you there. If you have topics that you're interested in, then we can look at those and put them into our lineup for the next 6 months. So we'd love your feedback. Thanks so much. All right, and then thank you to our companies. These are our corporate partners that work with us and ensure that this program can continue happening around the Phoenix and throughout now virtual. So I know I've seen people today on from South Carolina, North Carolina, all over the United States today. So we're glad we're able to bring these programs to you as well. We do have some additional resources available. If you have never taken a DISC assessment, we encourage you to take that. It's no cost and it will give you a 24 pages of content on your temperament, your ideal type of work environment, and communication style, things like that. So go ahead and take that. Then we are doing an event recap. And so right now we have someone typing away, writing away, putting it all together for you and putting it out on our blog. And so that a recap will be posted in the next couple days. And then you will be able to pull the content from there. That's both the content from the event and the hiring companies. We are also all over social media. So if you would like to connect with us, I know we talked a lot about LinkedIn today, but we're also on Facebook and Instagram, and we do send out stuff through Twitter as well. Now we have some awesome events coming up, you guys. So Thursday, May 6th, I can't believe I'm saying May. Oh my gosh, that means it's almost half of the year already. So Thursday, May 6th, we are going to hear from Clara Chorley, the career success formula, 4 stages of optimal job searching success. And then you can see the hiring companies we have that day: APN, Microchip, Iris, USA, and then WealthWave will also be back. Now we have 2 really cool events coming up after that. Thursday, May 13th is our Diversity Talks event. We are featuring up to 20 companies that are diversity friendly companies. They have programs around their diversity, equity, and inclusion initiatives, and they are going to feature their jobs, and they will also talk about the different programs, ERGs, employee resource groups, and what they're doing from a diversity perspective. And so I encourage you to come out and hear these companies.
Okay, so Jessica might have frozen, so I'm just going to pick up and we'll hope that she can pop back on. The other event that we have coming up is another in the series of the Tempe virtual job fairs. And our next one of those will be Tuesday, May 18th. And you can see the company list here, and there's probably a couple more that we'll add. If you want more information about the Tempe Job Fair, you can go to tempe.gov/job fairs. And this event has the added benefit that you're going to see more of with our events, in that we're partnered with Pipeline AZ, as well as Arizona at Work, Best Companies. But City of Tempe sponsored these events, and Pipeline AZ is providing a job matching component. So all of these companies have profile on Pipeline AZ, and they've posted jobs there. So as you register for this event, your skills are being matched to those openings. And so it hopefully will provide benefit to everyone involved and get more people linked to jobs that they're interested in. And then here's Diversity Talks, Jessica already touched on, but that will be May 13th. Some interesting discussion going on there. Okay, here it is. Brenda mentioned about having a picture for LinkedIn. We are so excited. Gordon Murray is a photographer in the Valley who reached out to us a while back, and he is actually offering photo sessions. And this is not an event. This is just a day where he has partnered with different hotels, mostly around the Valley, and you can go on his website and make an appointment, and you show up, and it's totally safe. I went. It's just him. He wears his mask. He's got the setup. And he's offering this service for free. Now, if you can make a donation, he is accepting, but this you're not obligated to pay for these pictures. And he does a fabulous job. We've had really good feedback, so we appreciate that. I'll put the link in the chat in a little bit. It'll also be in the blog. Okay, so we are recording this session today. And if you missed any part of it, or you want to come back to any of our other sessions that we've had on our website, you see in the lower right there, CC webinars. That is where these type of events will show. Okay, so if you missed something and you want to see it, you can go ahead and find that on the website. This one should be up by tonight or tomorrow morning. There's a couple of other segments of videos that we have on the website. The middle one, the community updates, that's kind of a mixture of a lot of different conversations and interviews that Jessica has done, where she might talk to economic development or a city, or I think we did a LinkedIn panel and a resume panel. So there's a lot of good content in there. And then the career chats, those are those short videos that you've probably seen Jessica put out in the last year, just trying to get information out to people, whether it's on unemployment or just the job climate. So those are stored there. And of course, the recaps will be on the website as well, Job Seekers Resources. Okay, you guys, we could not do these events without our amazing, amazing volunteers. So thank you so much to everyone who's been helping and is helping and continues to come together to create our community. Oh, and speaking of which, we could use a couple more blog writers. So if you have any interest in helping out what we do in our programs, writing the blog is a great way that you could help. And what that entails is you preferably attend the event, show up, take notes like Susan is doing for us today, and then you kind of summarize, you capture the highlights of the event. So if someone missed it, they have a place to go back to, and then you can just send me the notes, or if you're interested in learning WordPress and you haven't used it, we can walk through that and you can actually post it yourself. So it's up to you, but if you're interested, please do email me. We are a 501c3, and of course the last year has been hard. I want to thank everyone who has already donated to us, and if you're interested, there's a donate button right on our website if you want to share any more going forward. We totally appreciate it. Okay, this has been an amazing day, a lot of great information. I'm super excited to see how all of the advice that Brenda gave plays out in our community. I, for one, am going to try to be better about having some visibility on LinkedIn. Now that I have a little bit reminder of the specific ways to go about that, I really appreciate it. So I will see you on LinkedIn, and just know that our team is pulling for you to land in the career of your dreams. Okay, we're not done, but we're going to switch modes really quick to go into the breakout sessions. So give me just 1 second. I'm going to stop recording because we don't